The mystery of Russia now has become concrete. They hacked our elections. They have co-opted our president. They have changed the GOP platform with regard to Russian aggression in Crimea and Ukraine. They have rewarded Carter Page, the first foreign policy advisor to Donald Trump. Manafort was lobbying Ukraine without a license to lobby a foreign government. This whole entire scenario is so dirty and so violative of everything that America stands for, number one. And number two, it is a national security crisis in that our government is now beholden to Russia's whims and will to reshape our foreign policy with regard to who is our ally, who we will fight on behalf of. You know, NATO is, if one person's attacked, we're all attacked. Now, the only time NATO has ever been invoked in the entire, 70 years of NATO's existence was after 9/11. All these countries, these allies of ours in NATO, fought with us in far-flung places like Afghanistan and also in Iraq, who had done nothing on September 11th. Nothing. So it's just it's just a very bizarre position that this particular president has put us in. And of course, if you talk to people who know this business of counterintelligence and intelligence gathering, and you talk to people who know what the White House counsel does, and that this Sean Spicer's entire press conference today, which David Halpern said he better come out strong today, or they're going to start talking about impeachment and grand juries, and they're going to start about talking about investigations, which the Senate has started talking about. Dan Burton, I mean, honest to God, not Dan Burton, what's his name, the Republican senator. I mean, if you have Republican senators willing to start investigations now, and you do have Republican senators willing to start investigations.
Roy Blount, yeah. Blount from Missouri.
Oh, Blunt,
yeah,
Roy
right.
Blunt. Yeah, if you have Roy Blunt, he's from Missouri, saying, yeah, we're going to start but over in the House, oh my God, over in the House, there are a bunch of Putin puppets also. You have Nunes, who's in charge of the Intelligence Committee, who said, there's nothing to see here, move along, move along. But Spicer tried, this is why I wanted to talk to John Dean, just for clarification on some specific points that Spicer made, which was to say, this is the fault of the Department of Justice. They didn't tell us about the Flynn tape. They didn't tell. That's bullcrap. This is not the White House counsel's fault, although where the hell is he with all these ethical violations? You know, does he counsel any? I mean, they said Kellyanne Conway's been counseled. What did that involve? She's been counseled. Was that, did she get psychiatric care? Did she go to a psychologist? Who counseled? What was it? Acupuncture? What was it? Hypnotism? Who counseled her and what was the counseling? But, they're trying to blame all the other ancillary people. And, John Dean is correct in that Jeff Sessions, who is now the Attorney General, has to recuse himself from all of this. All of it. I'm surprised he didn't recuse himself from voting for Betsy DeVos. He should have. But anyway, David Ignatius, who wrote the articles that moved the needle, as we say, towards Flynn resigning last night at 11 o'clock at night, he's the author of these articles. He's the real journalist. He's the one that does the real reportage. There are real people out there who are really, really following leads, talking to people, getting the facts, who understand there's a tape, knows what's on the tape because somebody informed them that the tape clearly shows a conversation, that the topic of the conversation, meaning the conversation was held explicitly, was the word, to discuss removing sanctions on Russia. Okay, so David Ignatius is that journalist, or he's one of amazing journalists out there, and this is not going to end well. This is, what are we at the beginning of week 4? Not even a month. Look at the mess this man has made, signing executive orders that he doesn't even understand, okay? Creating chaos everywhere. Bringing these people. I have to say, David Ignatius is the only person, only journalist I've heard, and I haven't been able to watch TV all day, but this morning, he was the only person on the TV shows who actually brought up Paul Manafort's name. People forget that Paul Manafort was the campaign manager until August. And then Kellyanne Conway, who's conning her way right through. You see, this makes no sense, okay? She's saying that the president would have stood by Michael Flynn even after the intercepted phone call, transcript, and audio recordings were presented to the president over a month ago. She says the president would have stood by Flynn, but Flynn decided that he had become a lightning rod and he should resign. That makes no sense, that the president of the United States would put his trust into a guy who he could read transcripts of and listen to audio recordings of say, don't worry, the sanctions are coming off. What we need from you is to put out damaging stories about Hillary Clinton's email. Go use WikiLeaks as your vessel to disseminate this information, true or false. We don't care. Just do it.